Greetings.
Try not to think about the rumblings from Red.
I sell to the nobility.
House Halalu maintains them.
They said I could make a...
Well, that's done. Now. You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, wait, that came out wrong. Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks, let me be clear about that. I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems... Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings. No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours. Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good. Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business. Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out. Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number. Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with the wildest things. Mounts, foliage, assistants. I mean, it's an in-room. I own this and several other properties throughout Tamriel. It pays to diversify. Of course, that means I've got to look out for a variety of troubles, too. But hey, no one ever said the real estate business was easy.
Greetings.
I have a fine selection to choose from.
Praise Vivek!
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Levoul, and let us speak. Canon Levoul says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcanon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcanon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed. The Daedric Prince? I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain, strange Daedra, and then there's... well, we'll talk more about that when you return. Levoul's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information on these matters, hence the need for the divination ritual.
Ah, Outlander. Lord Vivek trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work? Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivek. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself. Despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivek requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivek, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy archcanon of a living god or anything. Ah, the ignorance of outlanders. How refreshing. The Blessing Stones serve as repositories for small amounts of Lord Vivek's power. They allow his favor to permeate sanctified locations. We need such a stone to power the divination ritual. If you haven't guessed yet, the phenomenon interferes with Lord Vivek's power in unusual ways. It will be safer for everyone if I perform the ritual by using the Blessing Stone instead of drawing on my Lord's personal store of energy. Even if I told you, you wouldn't comprehend it. Lord Vivek's senses eclipse those of mere mortals. Suffice it to say, He feels a disturbance in the flow of energy throughout Vardenfell. He seeks to discover the source of that disturbance. Lord Vivec sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand. Offend me? You give yourself too much credit. No, I feel the same about all Outlanders. This is tribunal business, best handled by tribunal resources. However, I also obey my Lord Vivec, so I will tolerate your involvement and do my best to aid you.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivec? Why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the Blessing Stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I was gonna die under there. Oh, I can't move. Help me!
Somebody please help me!
Praise Vivec!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivec always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the Tribunal. Did you bring the blessing stone? The Outlander return. Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the blessing stone, and we'll begin the ritual. Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivec's distress. A clockwork mage. A Daedric cultist. Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god and energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. I've always used my power freely, and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. and that would be just the start of Vardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy, but as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who, before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Todd. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity. But so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Seal, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. He always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than field work, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Bolmora, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivec City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivec thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivec's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see what you can learn. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivec. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I traced tendrils of Vivec's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivec's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
Oh, those damned ruffians. If the Scarlet Judge hadn't arrived, I fear those bandits would have been the end of me.
Not you too. This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Talinra, but my wife insists we try a real mage.
There goes another client who's known me for years. Not a proper mage, they say. Rubbish! By Vec, if I get my hands on that fetcher from Somerset, I'll wring his... Just watching my business fall into ruin. People used to rely on me to heal their children and mend their injuries, but now it's all Menaldinian this and Menaldinian that. Damned guild lackey. He's even pinning up signs to slander my work. The Cretan's saying I'm not a mage, but I am. I just happen to love alchemy. He must think there's a lot of coin to be made here. The fool. If I get my hands on him, I'll... Sorry. Dark elf temper. It's just that this business is my life. Thank you for helping me, Sarah. Honestly, it means a lot. The rascal's name is Menaldinian. You'll find him sliming around that new shop of his, the Gauche High Elf Clinic just south of here. I thought a fellow mage would have more respect. Oh, he started out all sweetness, invited me to tea, asked about my business, even bought a copy of my latest book, Tea and Tisane for Aches and Pains. I can't believe I fell for his act. I doubt it. But my mother taught me I should always give people a chance to make amends. It helps ease the conscience after we wreak our revenge. My mother was a very colorful woman. What? Healers aren't permitted to deal out a bit of payback every now and then? I'm a dark elf. Grim talk is the official language of Morrowind, and vengeance is the national pastime. A shame, though. He's really quite handsome for an Altmer. I am. Quite highly ranked, too. Surprised? Not every Telvanni mage hides away in a mushroom. Many of us enjoy the company of our neighbors, until they start abandoning us for some insufferable mages guild peacock. Alchemy teaches us the hidden potential of everyday things, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. People step over miracles all the time. Mushrooms that can ease a cough or grasses that can mend a wound. Alchemy finds power in the mundane.
I'm down on my luck. Help me out?
Yes, I suppose you've come for a consultation. What is it? Unsightly warts? Poor eyesight? Flat feet, perhaps? You poor thing. Did one of her bizarre herbal cures cause worse pains than it cured? Honestly, I've given some thought to drafting a letter to the Archmage of the Guild. These herbalists and hedge witches really need some proper training. Of course not! Wait, are you another one of these bark-munching herbal apologists? Telenra's teas are not remedies. I'm sure she makes a delicious marinade and some very fine scented lotions for the ladies, but I'd hardly call that medicine. None. Now, see here, if she sent you to fish for an apology, she won't get it. I'll not apologize for the truth. Alchemy is a peasant science. Sheer quackery! Now go, and take this silly book with you. I'm sick of it cluttering up my shelf.
Let me guess. Menaldinian was an insufferable ass and refused to apologize. Did he now? Well, he'll certainly regret that. I've cooked up a wonderful plan to teach him the value of alchemy, but I'll need your help. What do you say? Up for a bit of poetic justice? Oh, come on now. I'm not going to poison him. I'm going to brew a potion that requires precise timing and freshly harvested lichen. The one that grows at the base of the Emperor Parasols. If you gather the lichen, I can focus on the instruments. Meet me near Menaldinian's house and we'll put my plan into action.
Help! Someone, please help!